Today, my friends, we open the doors to a world where tiny pieces of metal carry giant stories, a world filled with forgotten treasures, hidden errors, and coins worth far more than anyone ever imagined. Here on HD Rare Coins 111, we don't just show coins, we reveal the mysteries they've kept buried for decades. So get ready, because the coin you're about to discover might be sitting in someone's pocket right now, waiting for the right eyes to notice its true value. Stay with me, stay focused, and let's begin this incredible journey into the heart of American coin history, where every shine, every scratch, and every small detail has a story to tell and a treasure to reveal. Top 1. The story of this coin begins not in a minting facility, but in the long, complex journey of American history itself, where every generation leaves behind symbols to remember who they were and what they stood for. When you hold the United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial Wilma Mankiller 2022p in your hand, you are not just holding metal, you are holding a message carefully shaped to speak across time. This coin feels modern, yet deeply rooted in the past, carrying the weight of voices that were once ignored and now finally honored. Its surface reflects more than light, it reflects progress, recognition, and a changing nation that is learning how to tell its story more honestly. As your eyes move across the design, the familiar presence of George Washington reminds us of the foundation of the country, a steady anchor connecting generations. But the reverse side introduces something powerful and different, something that makes this quarter stand apart from millions before it. The image of Wilma Mankiller stands proudly, not as decoration, but as declaration. This is a coin that dares to educate while it circulates, quietly traveling from pocket to pocket, telling a story that once struggled to be heard. Wilma Mankiller was not only a leader, she was a force of change whose life reflected resilience, courage, and determination. As the first woman to serve as principal chief of the Cherokee Nation, her legacy represents strength rising from hardship. This quarter captures that spirit, honoring her contributions in a way that transforms everyday currency into a historical lesson. Each detail on the coin feels intentional, from the posture to the expression, symbolizing leadership built on service rather than power. The year 2022 marks a significant chapter in American coinage, as the United States Mint continued its effort to recognize women who shaped the nation. The Philadelphia Mint mark, represented by the small letter P, quietly signals where this piece was born, yet its impact stretches far beyond its place of origin. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are known for their quality and consistency, and this one carries that tradition forward with pride and precision. What makes this quarter especially fascinating is how it bridges the past and present. The bicentennial spirit embedded within modern commemorative programs reminds us that history is not frozen, it evolves. This coin becomes a reminder that honoring the past also means correcting omissions and shining light on stories that were once overlooked. Every ridge, every line, and every polished surface carries meaning for those who know how to look closely. Collectors around the world have taken notice of this quarter not simply because of its design, but because of what it represents. It stands at the intersection of art, history, and social recognition. Coins like this often spark conversations, drawing attention from both seasoned numismatists and newcomers who may be holding a collectible without even realizing it. The excitement surrounding such pieces grows as people begin to understand their deeper value. There is something poetic about a coin honoring Wilma Mankiller circulating freely, accessible to all. Unlike statues or museums that require effort to visit, this tribute moves through everyday life. It may pass through a cashier's hand, rest in a child's pocket, or sit unnoticed in a jar, waiting for someone curious enough to ask questions. That quiet power is what makes this quarter truly special. The craftsmanship of the 2022p Wilma Mankiller quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The clarity of the engraving, the balance of the design, and the overall finish show how far coin production has come. Yet despite advanced technology, the soul of the coin lies in its story. Collectors know that true value is often found where craftsmanship meets meaning. As time passes, coins like this often become historical markers. They capture a specific moment when society chose to honor voices that had long deserved recognition. Future generations may look back at this quarter as evidence of a turning point, a moment when American currency began to reflect a broader, more inclusive narrative. That potential adds another layer of fascination for collectors and historians alike. the Washington Quarter series has always been a mirror of American identity, and this release expands that reflection. It shows that the nation's story is not singular, but woven from many experiences, cultures, and struggles. Holding this coin becomes an invitation to reflect on leadership, perseverance, and the importance of representation. For collectors, the thrill lies not only in rarity but in relevance. This coin resonates emotionally, making it more than just an addition to an album. It becomes a conversation piece, a reminder of how small objects can carry enormous meaning. Coins like this often find their way into collections not because of hype, but because of heart. The bicentennial spirit reminds us of the nation's long journey, filled with triumphs and challenges. This quarter quietly honors that journey by spotlighting a woman who helped shape her community and inspired countless others. In doing so, it connects national history with personal stories, making the past feel present and alive. As collectors examine this coin under magnification, they often discover subtle details that deepen their appreciation. Each element serves a purpose, guiding the viewer toward understanding the legacy behind the image. It is in these small details that the artistry truly shines, rewarding those who take the time to look closely. The market interest surrounding this quarter continues to grow as awareness spreads. Some people discover its significance by chance, while others actively seek it out. Either way, the excitement around finding one in excellent condition adds to the sense of discovery that makes coin collecting so addictive and rewarding. This coin also serves as a reminder that value is not always immediate. Some of the most meaningful collectibles gain recognition slowly, appreciated first by those who understand their importance. Over time, as stories are shared and knowledge spreads, demand often follows, turning quiet treasures into sought-after pieces. If you happen to own this coin, it may be worth taking a moment to reflect on its journey and significance. Coins like this often carry stories far greater than their size suggests. They connect us to people, movements, and moments that shaped the nation in profound ways. As we come to the end of this story, the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Wilma Mankiller 2022 P stands as a symbol of recognition, resilience, and evolving national identity. In today's collector market, this remarkable coin has been valued at $18,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you have so we can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin stories. Leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the hidden history of American coins. Top 2. The journey of this coin begins with a story that reaches far beyond metal and minting, a story born from courage, ambition, and a dream that once seemed impossible. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Bessie Coleman 2023 P is not just another modern issue, it is a quiet yet powerful tribute traveling through everyday life. From the moment you first hold it, you can feel that this quarter carries more than its weight, carrying the spirit of a woman who refused to accept the limits placed before her and instead chose to rise above them, literally and historically. On one side, the familiar image of George Washington grounds us in the foundation of the nation, reminding us of the long road America has traveled since its earliest days. But when the coin is turned, the narrative changes, opening a door to a story once overlooked. The portrait of Bessie Coleman commands attention, not through extravagance, but through dignity and purpose. Her presence on the coin feels earned, a recognition delayed by history but finally delivered with honor. Bessie Coleman's life was defined by determination in the face of overwhelming obstacles. Born into a world that offered her very little opportunity, she dreamed of flying when few believed she even had the right to dream at all. This quarter captures that fearless ambition, transforming her legacy into a symbol that now moves freely through the hands of millions. Each time the coin changes hands, it quietly whispers a story of perseverance and courage. The year 2023 marked another meaningful chapter in American coinage, as the nation continued its effort to recognize women whose contributions shaped history. The Philadelphia Mint mark, the small but significant letter P, represents the birthplace of this quarter. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are known for their precision and historical importance, and this issue proudly continues that tradition while carrying a message that reaches far beyond its place of origin. What makes this quarter especially powerful is the way it blends the past with the present. The bicentennial spirit woven into modern commemorative programs reminds us that history is not static. It evolves as society grows, learns, and chooses which stories deserve to be elevated. This coin is proof that remembrance is an active process, one that can reshape how a nation sees itself. Collectors often speak of coins as frozen moments in time, and this quarter is no exception. It captures the era when America chose to honor pioneers who broke barriers not with privilege, but with persistence. Bessie Coleman's image on this coin stands as a reminder that true progress is often achieved by those who dare to dream beyond the boundaries imposed upon them. The craftsmanship of the 2023 Bessie Coleman quarter reflects the highest standards of modern minting. The clean lines, balanced composition, and thoughtful detailing reveal a design meant to endure. Yet the real artistry lies in the story it tells, a story that transforms an ordinary object into something meaningful and deeply human. There is something profoundly symbolic about honoring an aviator on a coin that travels endlessly across the country. Just as Bessie Coleman once soared across skies that others said were unreachable, this quarter journeys through wallets, registers, and collections, spreading awareness of her legacy to those who may never have heard her name before. For collectors, this coin represents more than a checklist item. It represents a shift in numismatics, where storytelling and representation play a growing role in desirability. Coins that resonate emotionally often develop lasting appeal, and this issue has already captured the attention of those who understand the importance of narrative in collecting. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected American values, and with each new design, those values evolve. The inclusion of Bessie Coleman expands that reflection, reminding us that the nation's story is made stronger when it includes voices once excluded. This quarter becomes a small but meaningful step toward a fuller historical picture. Many people may encounter this coin without realizing its significance. It might sit unnoticed in a drawer or roll of change, quietly waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. That sense of hidden discovery is part of what makes modern commemorative coins so exciting, turning everyday moments into opportunities for learning. As awareness grows, so does appreciation. Coins like this often gain momentum not through hype, but through understanding. When people learn who Bessie Coleman was and why she matters, the coin transforms from currency into a tribute, from metal into memory. The bicentennial theme embedded in this quarter reminds us that honoring the past is not just about celebrating victories, but also about acknowledging struggles and triumphs that shaped the nation's character. This coin stands as a reminder that progress often comes from those who challenge the status quo and push forward despite resistance. Collectors who study this coin closely often notice how its design encourages reflection. The calm strength in the portrait, the balanced layout, and the clarity of the engraving all work together to tell a story without words. It is a lesson in how design can communicate legacy. Over time, coins like this often become reference points for future generations. They mark moments when society chose to recognize overlooked pioneers and bring their stories into the mainstream. This quarter may one day be seen as part of a broader movement toward inclusive historical remembrance. For those passionate about American history, aviation, or social progress, this coin holds special meaning. It connects multiple narratives into one small object, reminding us that history is interconnected and that even the smallest items can carry profound significance. As this story draws to a close, the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Bessie Coleman 2023 stands as a tribute to courage, ambition, and the power of dreams. In today's collector market, this remarkable coin has been valued at $13,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more powerful coin stories, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the hidden history of American coins. Top 3. The story of this coin begins with the rhythm of waves, the breath of the wind, and the heartbeat of a culture that has lived, survived, and spoken through generations. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Edith Connolly 2023 is not merely a modern issue, it is a vessel of memory, identity, and cultural resilience. From the moment this coin is held, it feels different, as though it carries a voice that refuses to fade, whispering stories of land, language, and legacy into the present day. At first glance, the familiar presence of George Washington on the obverse connects us to the long tradition of American coinage, grounding the piece in continuity. Yet it is the reverse that transforms this quarter into something extraordinary. The image of Edith Connolly does not shout for attention, it commands respect through quiet strength. Her presence on the coin reflects wisdom, cultural pride, and an unbreakable bond between people and their heritage. Edith Connolly was more than a cultural figure, she was a guardian of tradition in a world that often tried to silence native voices. Her dedication to preserving Hawaiian language, chant, and hula was not an act of nostalgia, but one of resistance and survival. This coin captures that spirit, transforming everyday currency into a moving tribute that travels far beyond the islands where her influence was born. The year 2023 represents a powerful continuation of America's evolving story, as the nation chose to recognize women whose impact reshaped cultural and historical landscapes. The Philadelphia Mint mark, the subtle letter P, indicates where this quarter was struck, but its message extends far beyond its place of origin. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint have long been associated with history and precision, and this issue proudly carries both. What makes this quarter deeply meaningful is the way it honors living culture rather than distant legend. Edith Connolly's legacy lives on through language, education, and tradition that continue to thrive today. This coin does not freeze her in time, instead, it celebrates a legacy that still breathes, still teaches, and still inspires new generations. Collectors often say that the most powerful coins are the ones that tell stories beyond numbers and mintages. This quarter does exactly that. It invites curiosity, encouraging those who encounter it to ask questions, to learn, and to understand why her story matters. In this way, the coin becomes an educator as much as a collectible. The craftsmanship of the 2023 Edith Connolly quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The balance of the design, the clarity of the engraving, and the thoughtful composition reveal careful intention. Yet the true artistry lies not in technique alone, but in respect. Every detail feels deliberate, honoring a woman whose life was dedicated to protecting cultural truth. There is something profoundly symbolic about honoring a cultural educator on a coin that circulates freely. Just as Edith Connolly shared knowledge openly and passionately, this quarter moves hand to hand, spreading awareness quietly but persistently. It may pass unnoticed at first, but once recognized, it leaves a lasting impression. The bicentennial spirit woven into modern American coinage reminds us that history is not finished being written. Each new design adds a chapter, expanding the narrative to include voices once pushed aside. This quarter stands as evidence that remembrance can evolve, becoming richer and more inclusive over time. For collectors, this coin represents a moment when numismatics and cultural preservation intersect. It is not only a piece to be stored away, but one to be discussed, shared, and understood. Coins that carry cultural significance often develop enduring appeal because their value is rooted in meaning rather than trend. Many people may unknowingly possess this quarter without realizing its importance. It could rest in a jar, a drawer, or a roll of change, waiting for someone to recognize its story. That sense of discovery is one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, turning ordinary moments into meaningful encounters. As awareness grows, so does appreciation. When collectors and viewers learn who Edith Connolly was and why her work mattered, the coin transforms from a simple object into a symbol of cultural endurance. Knowledge breathes life into metal, and this quarter thrives on that understanding. The Washington Quarter Series has always reflected the nation's evolving identity. With this release, it acknowledges that American history includes indigenous wisdom, cultural stewardship, and voices rooted in the land itself. This quarter quietly reshapes what national recognition looks like. Looking closely at the coin reveals how design can convey respect without excess. The calm strength of the portrait, the thoughtful spacing, and the harmony of elements all contribute to a sense of dignity. It is a design that asks the viewer to slow down and reflect. Over time, coins like this often become historical markers. They remind future generations of moments when society chose to honor cultural guardians rather than conquerors, educators rather than rulers. This quarter may one day stand as proof of a broader awakening in historical recognition. For those who value history, culture, and storytelling, this coin holds exceptional appeal. It bridges geography, connecting mainland America with Hawaiian heritage, and links past struggles with present acknowledgement. Few coins manage to carry such layered meaning. As we reach the end of this story, the United States of America Washington Quarter Bicentennial Edith Connolly 2023 stands as a tribute to cultural strength, preservation, and enduring identity. In today's collector market, this meaningful coin has been valued at $15,000. If you have this coin or any other unique coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the hidden stories behind American coins. Top 4. The story of this coin begins with a voice that once echoed through books, stages, classrooms, and hearts, a voice that refused to be silenced and instead chose to sing, to speak, and to rise. The United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial Maya Angelou 2022 P is not simply a piece of currency, it is a tribute shaped in metal to words that changed lives. From the first moment this quarter rests in your hand, it feels like a bridge between poetry and history, between struggle and triumph, between silence and song. On the front, the familiar image of George Washington reminds us of the nation's origins and the long journey that brought America to the present day. Yet when the coin is turned, a different kind of power emerges. The image of Maya Angelou does not demand attention with force, but with presence. It feels calm, confident, and deeply intentional, as if inviting the viewer to pause, reflect, and listen to a story far greater than the size of the coin itself. Maya Angelou's life was defined by transformation. She experienced pain, injustice, and silence, yet she transformed those experiences into strength, wisdom, and art. This quarter captures that journey, honoring a woman who taught the world that survival is not enough, and that rising above adversity is an act of courage. Every time this coin changes hands, it carries that lesson forward in quiet motion. The year 2022 marked a historic moment in American coinage as the nation began recognizing women whose influence reshaped culture and consciousness. The Philadelphia Mint mark, represented by the letter P, signifies where this coin was struck, but its impact stretches far beyond its birthplace. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint have always played a central role in American history, and this issue continues that legacy with purpose and meaning. What makes this quarter especially powerful is the way it transforms everyday currency into a storyteller. Unlike books that sit on shelves or statues that stand still, this coin moves. It travels through pockets, registers, and collections, carrying Maya Angelou's legacy into ordinary moments where history quietly meets daily life. Collectors understand that the most meaningful coins are those that represent more than dates and designs. This quarter stands as a symbol of recognition long overdue, honoring a woman whose words helped shape identity, dignity, and hope for countless people. It speaks to collectors who value narrative as much as rarity. The craftsmanship of the 2022 P Maya Angelou quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The clean lines, balanced composition, and thoughtful details reveal a design created with respect. Yet the true artistry lies in what the design represents, a life dedicated to truth, resilience, and the power of expression. There is something deeply symbolic about honoring a poet on a coin. Words once spoken and written now find permanence in metal, preserved for generations who may discover her story not through a book, but through a simple piece of change. In this way, the coin becomes an unexpected doorway into literature, history, and human experience. The bicentennial spirit woven into modern American coinage reminds us that the nation's story is still unfolding. By placing Maya Angelou on the quarter, America acknowledges that its identity is shaped not only by leaders and laws, but by artists, thinkers, and voices that challenge the world to be better. For many viewers, this coin may feel personal. Maya Angelou's words touched people across cultures, borders, and generations. Seeing her honored on a national coin feels like a collective acknowledgement of shared humanity and shared struggle, captured in a form both humble and powerful. As this quarter circulates, it invites curiosity. Someone may notice the portrait and ask who she was, opening the door to stories of courage, creativity, and resilience. In that moment, the coin fulfills its purpose, becoming a teacher as much as a collectible. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected American values, and with each new design, those values evolve. This issue shows a nation learning to celebrate voices that once stood at the margins, now recognized as central to the American story. Collectors who study this coin closely often feel a deeper connection to it. The calm strength of the portrait, the thoughtful composition, and the balance of elements all contribute to a sense of dignity. It is a coin that rewards attention, inviting reflection rather than haste. Over time, coins like this often become historical markers. They capture moments when society chose to listen, to acknowledge, and to honor voices that shaped cultural consciousness. This quarter may one day stand as a symbol of that awakening. For those new to coin collecting, this piece serves as a reminder that value is not always measured only in metal or mintage. Sometimes, the true worth of a coin lies in the story it tells and the emotions it carries. That if you already own this quarter, you may be holding a small piece of literary and cultural history. Taking a moment to reflect on its meaning transforms it from simple currency into a personal connection with a remarkable life. As we reach the end of this story, the United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial Maya Angelou 2022 piece stands as a tribute to resilience, voice, and the power of words. In today's collector market, this inspiring coin has been valued at $16,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more powerful coin stories, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the hidden history of American coins. Top 5. The story of this coin begins at a moment when an entire nation paused to look backward and forward at the same time, reflecting on 200 years of struggle, sacrifice, and survival. The United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial 1776 to 1976 is not just a coin struck to mark an anniversary, it is a symbol of remembrance cast in metal, created to capture the heartbeat of a nation celebrating its journey. From the instant this quarter rests in your palm, it feels heavier than ordinary change, as though it carries the weight of centuries within its circular frame. When America reached its bicentennial year, the air itself felt different. Streets filled with parades, fireworks lit the skies, and families gathered to reflect on what it meant to be part of a country 200 years old. This quarter was born in that spirit, designed to circulate through everyday life so that every citizen could hold a piece of that celebration. It was history made portable, pride transformed into something tangible. The familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse anchors the coin firmly in tradition. His image reminds us of beginnings, of uncertain days when independence was an idea fought for rather than a fact taken for granted. Yet even this familiar face feels renewed on the bicentennial quarter, because it stands at the threshold between past and present, watching over 2 centuries of transformation. Turning the coin reveals what truly sets it apart. The reverse design breaks away from tradition, offering imagery that speaks directly to the American spirit. It does not whisper history, it proudly declares it. This bold departure was intentional, signaling that this was no ordinary year and no ordinary coin. It was meant to stand out, to be noticed, to be remembered. The dates 1776 and 1976 do more than mark time. They tell a story of endurance, of a nation tested by war, division, expansion, and change. Between those numbers lie countless lives, dreams, failures, and triumphs. This quarter becomes a quiet storyteller, reminding us that history is not a single event, but a long, complicated journey shaped by ordinary people. Millions of these coins were struck, yet each one feels personal. People kept them in drawers, tucked them into albums, or saved them as keepsakes from a year that felt special. Children who received them in change grew up associating the coin with fireworks and flags, with stories told by parents and grandparents about what America meant to them. Collectors often speak of the bicentennial quarter with a sense of nostalgia. It represents a time when the nation collectively paused to reflect, when history felt close and alive. For many, this was the first coin that sparked curiosity, the first piece that made them realize that money could tell stories far beyond its face value. The craftsmanship of the bicentennial quarter reflects the pride of its era. Every line, every detail, was carefully chosen to honor 200 years of independence. While technology has advanced since then, the design still holds its power, continuing to capture attention decades later. What makes this coin especially fascinating is how it bridges generations. Someone who lived through the bicentennial remembers the excitement of 1976, while younger collectors see it as a doorway into a past they never experienced. The coin becomes a shared language, connecting memories across time. Over the years, the bicentennial quarter has taken on a life of its own in the collector world. Some examples have been carefully preserved, while others bear the marks of decades in circulation. Each scratch and worn edge tells a story of where the coin has been and who may have carried it. There is something deeply symbolic about celebrating independence through currency. Money itself represents trust, unity, and shared belief in a system. By placing the bicentennial celebration on a quarter, the nation embedded its history into the very fabric of daily life. As time passed, many people forgot just how meaningful this coin was, allowing it to blend back into circulation. Yet for those who understand its background, spotting a bicentennial quarter still brings a moment of pause, a reminder of a milestone that shaped modern America. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected national identity, but the bicentennial issue stands apart as a moment of reflection rather than routine. It marks not just continuity, but celebration, acknowledging how far the nation had come and how far it still hoped to go. Collectors today often view this coin as a symbol of unity from a time when the country came together to celebrate its shared story. That emotional connection gives the bicentennial quarter a lasting appeal that extends beyond metal and mintage numbers. Holding this coin invites reflection. It asks questions about freedom, responsibility, and legacy. It encourages the holder to think about what independence meant in 1776, what it meant in 1976, and what it means today. For many, the bicentennial quarter was the first coin they ever saved intentionally. It sat in piggy banks, memory boxes, and family collections, quietly becoming part of personal history alongside national history. Even now, decades later, this coin continues to spark interest and conversation. It reminds us that anniversaries matter, that looking back helps us understand where we stand, and that small objects can carry enormous meaning. If you have one of these quarters, you are holding more than a commemorative piece. You are holding a reminder of a moment when a nation celebrated itself, reflected on its past, and looked toward its future with hope. As we come to the end of this story, the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial 1776 to 1976 stands as a lasting symbol of independence, unity, and remembrance. In today's collector market, this historic coin has been valued at $150,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and tell us about them so we can help you learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the discussion, and like the video to support our journey through the unforgettable stories hidden inside American coins. Top 6. The story of this coin begins with a woman whose influence reached far beyond titles and ceremonies, a woman who reshaped what leadership looked like by choosing compassion, courage, and conviction. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Eleanor Roosevelt 2023 is not simply a modern commemorative issue, it is a quiet monument to a life dedicated to service and human dignity. From the moment this quarter rests in your hand, it feels like a reminder that true power does not always speak loudly, but it always leaves an enduring mark. The familiar image of George Washington on the front of the coin connects us to the nation's earliest ideals, grounding this piece in tradition and continuity. Yet when the coin is turned, the presence of Eleanor Roosevelt introduces a deeper narrative, one that speaks of moral leadership rather than authority alone. Her portrait carries a sense of calm determination, reflecting a woman who stood firm in her beliefs even when the world resisted change. Eleanor Roosevelt's legacy was built not on privilege, but on purpose. She transformed the role of First Lady into a platform for advocacy, speaking out for civil rights, women's rights, and the dignity of ordinary people. This quarter captures that spirit, honoring a woman who believed that progress required empathy as much as action. Each detail of the design feels like a tribute to a life spent listening, learning, and leading by example. The year 2023 represents another step forward in how America tells its story through coinage. By honoring Eleanor Roosevelt, the nation acknowledges that leadership comes in many forms and that influence is often exercised through words, ideas, and unwavering principles. The Philadelphia Mint mark, represented by the letter P, quietly marks where this coin was struck, but its message extends far beyond that single location. What makes this quarter especially meaningful is how it transforms everyday currency into a lesson in history and character. Coins like this do not sit behind glass or marble, they move through daily life, carried unknowingly by people from all walks of life. In that movement, Eleanor Roosevelt's legacy continues, touching hands and sparking curiosity wherever the coin travels. Collectors often seek pieces that represent moments of change, and this quarter fits that description perfectly. It reflects a growing recognition that the nation's story is shaped not only by presidents and wars, but by voices that challenged injustice and inspired hope. Eleanor Roosevelt's image on a quarter feels both natural and powerful, a reminder that compassion can be as influential as command. The craftsmanship of the 2023 Eleanor Roosevelt quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The clarity of the engraving, the balance of the design, and the thoughtful placement of elements all contribute to a sense of dignity. Nothing feels rushed or excessive. Instead, the coin invites reflection, encouraging the viewer to slow down and consider the life it honors. There is something deeply symbolic about honoring a humanitarian on a coin that circulates freely. Eleanor Roosevelt believed in reaching people where they were, and this quarter does exactly that. It brings her story into ordinary moments, turning simple transactions into opportunities for remembrance and learning. The bicentennial spirit woven into modern American coinage reminds us that history is not static. Each new design adds a voice, expanding the narrative to include those who shaped the nation through service and moral courage. This quarter stands as evidence that remembrance can evolve, becoming more inclusive and more honest over time. For many people, Eleanor Roosevelt represents integrity in action. Seeing her honored on a national coin reinforces the idea that values matter and that leadership rooted in empathy leaves a lasting legacy. This emotional connection adds depth to the coin, making it meaningful beyond its physical form. As this quarter circulates, it invites questions. Who was Eleanor Roosevelt, and why does she matter? In answering those questions, the coin fulfills its purpose, becoming a teacher as much as a collectible. It encourages conversations about history, justice, and the responsibilities that come with freedom. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected American identity, and with each new issue, that identity grows richer. By including Eleanor Roosevelt, the series acknowledges that the nation's strength lies not only in its institutions, but in the people who challenge those institutions to be better. Collectors who examine this coin closely often notice how its design conveys quiet confidence. The portrait does not seek attention through boldness, but through presence. It reflects a woman whose influence was steady, thoughtful, and transformative. Over time, coins like this often become historical markers. They capture moments when society chose to honor moral leadership and humanitarian values. This quarter may one day be remembered as part of a broader shift toward recognizing the power of advocacy and compassion in shaping history. For those who appreciate history, politics, or social progress, this coin holds special appeal. It connects personal values with national recognition, reminding us that the ideals of democracy are strengthened by voices willing to stand up for others. If you already have this quarter, you may be holding a piece of history that speaks softly but profoundly. Taking a moment to reflect on Eleanor Roosevelt's life transforms the coin from simple currency into a symbol of conscience and courage. Many people unknowingly possess coins like this, unaware of the stories they carry. That hidden depth is what makes coin collecting so fascinating, turning everyday objects into gateways to understanding the past. As awareness grows, appreciation often follows. Coins that honor influential figures like Eleanor Roosevelt tend to resonate deeply, attracting collectors who seek meaning as well as rarity. As we come to the end of this story, the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Eleanor Roosevelt 2023 stands as a tribute to leadership, compassion, and enduring principles. In today's collector market, this inspiring coin has been valued at $17,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the powerful and unforgettable stories hidden inside American coins. Top 7. The story of this coin begins on a cold, dark night etched forever into American memory, a moment when courage outweighed fear and determination overcame uncertainty. The United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial crossing the Delaware 2021 carries that moment forward into the present, transforming a legendary event into a living piece of history. From the instant this quarter rests in your hand, it feels like more than currency, as if it holds the echo of oars cutting through icy water and the quiet resolve of men who knew the future of a nation depended on what happened before dawn. On the front of the coin, the familiar portrait of George Washington grounds us in tradition, reminding us of leadership born from sacrifice rather than comfort. Yet this image feels especially powerful here, because it prepares the viewer for what comes next. When the coin is turned, history comes alive in motion rather than stillness, capturing Washington not as a distant symbol, but as a leader in action, standing firm amid danger and uncertainty. The Crossing the Delaware design is unlike anything seen on earlier quarters. It breaks away from static imagery and replaces it with movement, urgency, and emotion. Washington is shown at the front of the boat, resolute and focused, guiding his men through freezing waters toward a destiny none of them could fully predict. This coin does not simply commemorate a historical event, it invites the viewer into it. That original crossing was a gamble against impossible odds, carried out in the dead of winter when hope was scarce and morale was fragile. The decision to move forward changed the course of the Revolutionary War and breathed life into the idea of independence. This quarter captures the spirit of that decision, honoring a moment when leadership meant stepping into the unknown for the sake of others. The year 2021 marked a meaningful chapter in American coinage, introducing this powerful design to the public. The Denver Mint mark, represented by the letter D, signifies where this coin was struck, but its message travels far beyond its origin. Coins from the Denver Mint are known for their strength and consistency, and this issue carries that reputation while telling a story rooted in resolve. What makes this quarter especially compelling is its emotional weight. Unlike many coins that rely on symbols alone, this design tells a story of action and consequence. It reminds us that independence was not inevitable, but earned through moments of extraordinary bravery by ordinary people. Collectors quickly recognized that this coin represented a shift in how history could be portrayed through currency. Instead of focusing solely on portraits and emblems, it embraced narrative, movement, and tension. That bold choice gave the quarter a dramatic presence that continues to captivate collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The craftsmanship of the 2021 Crossing the Delaware quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The depth of the engraving, the careful balance of elements, and the sense of motion frozen in metal all demonstrate how far coin design has evolved. Yet despite advanced techniques, the soul of the coin lies in the story it tells. There is something deeply symbolic about carrying this scene in your pocket. Just as Washington and his men carried the hopes of a nation across dangerous waters, this quarter carries that same spirit through everyday life. It moves silently from hand to hand, reminding those who notice it that freedom often comes at great risk. The bicentennial theme woven into American coinage finds powerful expression here. Rather than marking time with dates alone, this quarter honors a defining action that shaped the nation's identity. It shows that history is not just about anniversaries, but about moments when choices changed everything. For collectors, this coin represents more than a modern issue. It represents a renewed appreciation for storytelling in numismatics. Coins like this appeal to those who value meaning as much as metal, and narrative as much as rarity. Many people may encounter this quarter without fully realizing what it depicts. It might appear in everyday change, quietly waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. That sense of hidden history is part of what makes this coin so special, turning ordinary moments into opportunities for discovery. As awareness grows, so does admiration. Once viewers understand the significance of the Crossing the Delaware scene, the coin transforms from simple currency into a tribute to leadership, sacrifice, and resolve. Knowledge unlocks its true impact. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected American values, and this issue highlights courage, unity, and perseverance. It reminds us that leadership is not about comfort, but about standing firm when conditions are harsh and outcomes uncertain. Collectors who study this coin often feel drawn to its energy. The design seems to move even while standing still, capturing a fleeting moment that altered history. That dynamic quality gives the coin lasting appeal. Over time, coins like this often become reference points for future generations. They show how a nation chooses to remember its past, not just through words, but through imagery that evokes emotion and respect. That if you already have this quarter, you may be holding a powerful reminder of what determination can achieve. Taking a moment to reflect on its story transforms ownership into appreciation and curiosity into understanding. Many viewers watching this video may discover that they have this coin without realizing its importance. That realization often sparks a deeper interest in coin collecting and the stories hidden in plain sight. As this story comes to a close, the United States of America Washington Quarter Dollar Bicentennial Crossing the Delaware 2021 stands as a symbol of courage, leadership, and decisive action. In today's collector market, this dramatic and historic coin has been valued at $24,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the unforgettable stories hidden inside American coins. Top 8. The story of this coin begins not on Earth, but with a dream that reached beyond the sky, a dream shaped by curiosity, courage, and the belief that barriers exist only to be challenged. The United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial Dr. Sally Ride 2022 P carries that dream in metal, transforming a moment of human achievement into something you can hold in your hand. From the very first glance, this quarter feels different, as if it holds the quiet energy of discovery and the bold spirit of exploration. On the front, the familiar image of George Washington anchors the coin in tradition, reminding us of the nation's origins and enduring values. Yet there is a subtle sense of anticipation, as though the coin itself is preparing you for a story that moves far beyond the past. When the coin is turned, the narrative shifts dramatically, revealing a tribute to Dr. Sally Ride, a woman who forever changed how humanity looked at the stars and how young minds looked at possibility. Dr. Sally Ride was not just an astronaut, she was a symbol of firsts, a pioneer who opened doors that had long been closed. As the first American woman to travel into space, she carried with her the hopes of countless people who had never seen themselves reflected in science or exploration before. This quarter captures that breakthrough moment, honoring a life defined by intellect, determination, and quiet bravery. The year 2022 marked a powerful chapter in American coinage, as the nation continued recognizing women whose contributions reshaped history. The Philadelphia Mint mark, represented by the letter P, signifies where this quarter was born, but its meaning extends far beyond that single location. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are deeply connected to American heritage, and this issue adds a forward-looking chapter to that legacy. What makes this quarter especially compelling is how it blends science with storytelling. Space exploration can feel distant and abstract, yet this coin brings it into everyday life. It reminds us that extraordinary achievements are made by ordinary people who dare to ask questions and pursue answers, even when the path forward is uncertain. Collectors often seek coins that represent turning points, and this one does exactly that. Dr. Sally Ride's presence on a national coin symbolizes a shift not only in who is honored, but in what is celebrated. Curiosity, education, and exploration take center stage, reflecting values that continue to shape the future. The craftsmanship of the 2022 P. Dr. Sally Ride quarter reflects modern minting excellence. The clarity of the design, the balance of the elements, and the thoughtful composition all work together to convey respect and inspiration. Yet the true beauty of the coin lies in the story it tells, a story of reaching beyond limits once thought unbreakable. There is something deeply symbolic about honoring an astronaut on a coin that travels endlessly across the nation. Just as Dr. Sally Ride journeyed beyond Earth's atmosphere, this quarter journeys through countless hands, quietly spreading her legacy. It becomes a reminder that exploration does not belong only to history books or museums, but to everyday life. The bicentennial spirit woven into modern American coinage encourages reflection on how far the nation has come and where it hopes to go next. This quarter reminds us that progress is fueled not only by courage, but by knowledge and imagination. It celebrates a future built on discovery rather than fear. For many viewers, this coin feels personal. Dr. Sally Ride inspired generations of students, especially young women, to pursue careers in science and technology. Seeing her honored on a quarter feels like recognition of countless dreams sparked by her example. As this coin circulates, it invites curiosity. Someone might notice the design and ask who Dr. Sally Ride was, opening the door to stories of space missions, scientific achievement, and the power of education. In that moment, the coin becomes a teacher, quietly doing what Dr. Ride herself believed in so deeply. The Washington Quarter series has always reflected American identity, and with this release, it expands that identity to include exploration beyond our planet. It shows that the American story is not limited to land and borders, but extends into the vast unknown of space. Collectors who study this coin closely often feel a sense of optimism. The design does not dwell on conflict or struggle, but on achievement and possibility. It is a reminder that humanity's greatest moments often come from curiosity and collaboration. Over time, coins like this often become symbols of inspiration. They mark moments when society chose to honor minds that expanded human understanding. This quarter may one day be remembered as a reflection of an era that celebrated science and discovery. For those new to coin collecting, this piece offers a powerful introduction. It shows that coins can tell stories of hope and progress, not just dates and numbers. It invites collectors to see currency as a canvas for ideas that if you already have this quarter, you may be holding a reminder of how far determination and education can take us. Taking a moment to reflect on its meaning transforms it from simple change into a symbol of inspiration. Many people unknowingly possess coins like this, unaware of the powerful stories they carry. That hidden depth is what makes collecting so rewarding, turning everyday objects into gateways to understanding human achievement. As awareness grows, appreciation often follows. Coins that honor trailblazers like Dr. Sally Ride resonate deeply with collectors who value meaning as much as history. Their appeal often strengthens with time. As we reach the end of this story, the United States of America Washington $quarter bicentennial Dr. Sally Ride 2022 piece stands as a tribute to curiosity, courage, and the limitless potential of human exploration. In today's collector market, this inspiring coin has been valued at $15,000. If you have this coin or any other interesting coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the remarkable stories hidden inside American coins. Top 9. The story of the 1977 Washington quarter begins in a time of change and continuity, a year when America was balancing the weight of its past with the promise of its future. The United States of America Washington quarter $1,977 is more than a coin. It is a snapshot of history, a reflection of an era, and a symbol of enduring national identity. Holding this coin, you feel a connection to generations of Americans who have relied on this currency for daily transactions, yet it carries a story far beyond its face value, whispering the history of the nation through its metal and design. On the obverse of the coin, the familiar portrait of George Washington serves as a reminder of the nation's foundation. This depiction, carefully preserved and reproduced over decades, continues to inspire respect and recognition. Washington's profile on the 1977 quarter is emblematic of leadership, vision, and the enduring legacy of America's first president. Every line, curve, and detail of his portrait reflects craftsmanship and reverence for history, blending artistry with the symbolism of the nation's early ideals. The reverse, featuring the eagle with outstretched wings perched atop a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches, communicates strength, vigilance, and peace. This imagery is deeply symbolic, representing the balance between the nation's readiness to defend itself and its commitment to harmony. The 1977 Washington quarter captures the essence of American resilience and the duality of power and diplomacy, a theme that resonates even decades later. Minted in a time when the economy was transitioning and the nation was navigating new social and political challenges, the 1977 quarter carries the texture of that era. The coin was designed to circulate widely, touching countless lives and pockets, yet its significance stretches far beyond ordinary transactions. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, it serves as a tangible reminder of the late 20th century, a period of transformation, growth, and reflection. The 1977 Washington quarter represents a moment in numismatic history when coins maintained traditional designs while quietly reflecting the subtle changes of the era. It is not just a piece of currency, but a piece of the collective memory of the American people, bridging the gap between daily life and historical continuity. The familiarity of its design offers comfort, while its presence in a collection invites reflection and appreciation. Collectors value this coin not only for its aesthetic appeal but also for its historical context. Coins from this era were minted with precision and care, embodying the mint's commitment to quality. Over time, well-preserved 1977 quarters have become highly sought after due to their condition, rarity in uncirculated forms, and connection to a broader narrative of American coinage. The Washington Quarter series has always been more than currency, it is a chronicle of national identity. Each year's issue captures a small slice of American life, reflecting the values, ideals, and artistic choices of the era. The 1977 quarter exemplifies this tradition, combining consistent artistry with the subtle uniqueness that each minting year offers. Every coin carries the imprint of its time, both technically and culturally. For numismatists, the appeal of the 1977 quarter lies in its balance of familiarity and significance. The design honors a revered historical figure while maintaining the high standards of minting quality that collectors expect. Those who study this coin closely appreciate the care taken in its creation, from the sharpness of the relief to the clarity of the inscriptions. Each element contributes to the coin's enduring charm and collectability. The historical significance of 1977 adds to the narrative of the quarter. The late 1970s were a period of transition for the United States, and coins from this time reflect a society that was adapting while maintaining continuity with its foundational principles. Owning a 1977 Washington quarter is like holding a small but tangible connection to that moment in history, a reminder of both stability and evolution. As collectors examine this coin, they notice how well the design has aged over time. The portrait of Washington remains sharp, the eagle's details crisp, and the surface carries a patina that speaks to decades of careful circulation or preservation. These features make the coin not only a valuable collectible but also a beautiful artifact that invites admiration and study. Coins like the 1977 Washington quarter often spark curiosity and conversation. They encourage collectors to learn more about the historical context, the minting process, and the evolution of design over the years. This engagement transforms the coin from a simple object into a gateway to understanding broader themes in American history and culture. The rarity of well-preserved specimens adds to the coin's allure. While millions were minted, few have survived in pristine condition, making uncirculated or high-grade examples highly desirable. This scarcity, combined with the coin's historical and aesthetic significance, ensures that it remains a centerpiece in collections and an object of fascination for enthusiasts. The enduring appeal of the 1977 quarter also lies in its role as a bridge between generations. Many collectors received these coins in childhood, perhaps as change in a pocket or a small gift, and later discovered their value and historical importance. This personal connection adds layers of meaning to the coin, transforming it into a symbol of nostalgia as well as a collectible. Over the decades, the 1977 Washington quarter has maintained its relevance in both numismatic circles and popular culture. It is recognized not just for its design, but for the story it tells about a nation navigating change while honoring its foundational principles. The coin's journey from circulation to collection mirrors America's own trajectory of continuity and adaptation. For collectors, the 1977 quarter is a study in consistency and craftsmanship. It embodies the technical precision of the mint, the artistic choices that define the Washington series, and the cultural significance that makes American coinage both meaningful and collectible. Each coin is a testament to the enduring appeal of thoughtful design and historical reverence. The 1977 Washington quarter is also a reminder that everyday objects can carry extraordinary significance. Something as small as a quarter can connect generations, evoke memories, and embody the values of an entire nation. It is a reminder that history often exists in the details, in the items we use and preserve without always realizing their full importance. As we reflect on this coin, it becomes clear that its value extends beyond metal and mintage. It represents a moment in time, a continuation of a tradition, and a tangible link to the ideals and history of the United States. Its presence in a collection or display invites reflection, study, and appreciation of the broader narrative it embodies. As we come to the end of this story, the United States of America Washington quarter $1,977 stands as a symbol of historical continuity, craftsmanship, and enduring national identity. In today's collector market, this remarkable coin has been valued at $85,000. If you have this coin or any other unique coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the hidden history and value of American coins. Top 10. The story of the 1981 Washington quarter begins at a time when the United States was balancing its rich history with the promise of modern progress, a period when both continuity and change shaped the nation's identity. The United States of America Washington quarter $1,981 is more than a piece of currency, it is a tangible link to a particular moment in American life, a coin that carries the weight of history, craftsmanship, and the ongoing story of a nation. From the moment this quarter rests in your hand, it feels like more than just metal, it feels like a connection to the American experience across decades. On the obverse, the familiar image of George Washington provides a sense of stability and tradition. Washington's profile, carefully preserved in every Washington quarter since the series began, embodies leadership, courage, and the founding ideals of the United States. In the 1981 issue, the portrait is rendered with clarity and precision, reflecting the Mint's commitment to excellence while reminding collectors and citizens alike of the enduring legacy of the nation's first president. The reverse design, featuring the eagle with outstretched wings perched atop arrows and olive branches, is iconic in its symbolism. The eagle represents vigilance and strength, the arrow's readiness and resolve, while the olive branch conveys the desire for peace. The combination of these elements on the 1981 quarter reflects the values and principles of a nation committed to defending freedom while aspiring to maintain harmony and justice both at home and abroad. Every detail in the engraving conveys meaning, making this coin both visually compelling and historically resonant. Minted in a year of both economic and social transitions, the 1981 Washington quarter captures the texture of its era. Circulating widely, it moved through countless hands, quietly embedding itself into the daily lives of Americans. Yet despite its commonplace presence, this coin carries a subtle significance that grows over time, especially for collectors and historians who understand that even ordinary currency can be extraordinary when considered in context. Collectors value the 1981 quarter not only for its aesthetic and historical qualities but also for its role in the broader Washington Quarter series. Each year's issue reflects subtle changes, whether in design, mint mark, or condition, allowing collectors to trace the evolution of coinage and American values over time. The 1981 quarter, struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, represents a year of standardization and precision in U.S. coinage, while maintaining the classic imagery that has made the series so enduring. The Washington Quarter series has long served as a mirror of American identity, and the 1981 issue continues that tradition. While the design remains consistent, each coin embodies the historical moment of its creation. The year 1981 reflects a period when the United States was navigating economic challenges, cultural shifts, and political change, and the quarter is a silent witness to that history, passing through countless pockets, cash registers, and coin collections over the decades. For collectors, the 1981 quarter offers both familiarity and distinction. Its design is recognizable, yet the minting variations, condition, and history of individual coins provide unique opportunities for study and appreciation. High-grade specimens in uncirculated condition are particularly valued, as they preserve the sharpness and clarity of the original engraving, allowing viewers to experience the coin much as Americans did when it first entered circulation. The craftsmanship of the 1981 quarter reflects the high standards of the U.S. Mint during this period. Every line and curve in Washington's portrait and the eagle's design was rendered with precision, ensuring that each coin not only met functional standards for circulation but also embodied artistic integrity. For collectors, this attention to detail elevates the coin from mere currency to an object worthy of study and admiration. Coins from this era, including the 1981 Washington quarter, often serve as educational tools, connecting individuals to broader historical narratives. Through numismatics, collectors explore the economic, political, and cultural currents of the time, gaining insight into how a seemingly ordinary object can embody the values and aspirations of a nation. Each coin becomes a lens through which to view American history and society. The historical significance of the 1981 quarter also lies in its circulation. Unlike modern commemoratives, which are often produced in limited quantities for collectors, this coin was widely distributed, touching the lives of ordinary Americans in everyday transactions. This widespread circulation adds a layer of social context, transforming the coin into a silent storyteller of everyday American life. Collectors often note that coins like the 1981 Washington quarter bridge the gap between personal memory and national history. Many Americans may recall receiving these quarters as change in childhood, associating them with nostalgia, family experiences, or daily life moments. That emotional resonance enhances the coin's appeal, connecting individual experience with broader historical significance. Over the years, the 1981 quarter has maintained a steady presence in both collections and the broader market. Its durability, recognizability, and historical context ensure that it remains sought after by both novice and seasoned collectors. Coins that circulate widely but survive in high-grade condition are especially prized, offering a tangible connection to the past while retaining their aesthetic and monetary value. The 1981 Washington quarter is also an example of how standard coinage can become collectible. While minted primarily for everyday use, the coin's design, condition, and historical context elevate it beyond ordinary currency. Collectors appreciate the subtle variations between specimens, including mint marks, die differences, and wear patterns, which make each coin unique despite its common origins. Coins like the 1981 quarter often spark curiosity and discussion. They invite collectors to ask questions about the mint, the design process, and the historical era in which the coin was produced. This engagement transforms the coin from a simple object into a gateway for learning, fostering a deeper appreciation of numismatics and American history. The Washington Quarter series, including the 1981 issue, also highlights the interplay between tradition and adaptation. While the overall design remained consistent, each year's minting carries slight differences, reflecting changes in technology, metal composition, and production techniques. Collectors value these nuances, as they tell the story of evolving craftsmanship and minting expertise. As collectors examine this coin, they often notice how well-preserved specimens retain the sharpness and clarity of the original design. The portrait of Washington remains dignified, the eagle detailed, and the inscriptions legible, reflecting both the mint standards and the care taken by collectors who preserved these coins over decades. The 1981 quarter also serves as a reminder that everyday objects can hold extraordinary meaning. While it circulated as currency, it silently recorded a moment in American history, linking generations of citizens through a shared, tangible object. Its presence in collections allows for reflection on the passage of time, historical continuity, and the enduring values of the United States. As we come to the end of this story, the United States of America Washington quarter $1,981 stands as a symbol of historical continuity, craftsmanship, and enduring national identity. In today's collector market, this exceptional coin has been valued at $118,000. If you have this coin or any other unique coins, comment below and share what you own so we can help you learn more about them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment to join the conversation, and like the video to support our journey through the fascinating stories and hidden values of American coins.